Everybody. We had just finished killing the armored spider, and we got quite a bit of souls now, and we haven't really leveled up or talked about leveling up yet. So I wanted to show you a couple weapons I have on hand and explain stats a little bit. So if you look at the right, I am soul level 1, the lowest level you can start with. Vitality is 8, intelligence is 12, endurance is 8, strength is 9, dexterity is 12, magic is 13, faith is 12, and luck is 7. Well, what does all that mean? Vitality is responsible for your health, and intelligence is a magic scaling stat. Endurance determines how much weight you can carry, and stamina. Strength, of course, affects strength weapons. And strength scaling, dexterity affects dexterity weapons. Magic and intelligence affect your spell attunement and how powerful your magic damage will be. Faith affects how powerful your miracles will be, and luck is kind of a trick stat. Luck is only good if you're farming, and I don't recommend ever putting points into luck. So I have quite a few weapons here. And if you hit triangle on them, actually square, square. Okay, so if you hit square on them, and you look down to attribute bonus, you'll see it has a D scaling with strength, a E scaling with dexterity, and a B scaling with magic. So my magic attack is going to scale with magic more than anything else. Well, if you look at the requirements down below, you see it has a strength requirement of 8 and 16 magic. So I do not meet the requirements to hold that. This one is strictly a strength weapon. It has D scaling with strength and E with dex, and it requires 18 strength. This scimitar, you may notice that changed right there. You see a red teardrop, that is bleed. Bleed kind of acts like poison in a way. You hit an enemy 5 times in a row, and they will bleed, and their health will tick down slowly for a time being. But you see that's a dex weapon. It has higher dexterity scaling than strength scaling, and it requires more dexterity to use. Mailbreaker, of course, that's a strength weapon. A rapier, that's a dex weapon. See, higher scaling than strength and more dex requirement. See right here, this crushing battle axe scales with strength only. Pickaxe is a strength dex combo, but mostly a strength weapon. Club, purely strength, has A scaling. Light crossbow scales again, so the light crossbow has no scaling whatsoever, but you need 10 strength to wield it. Catalyst, you see the C scaling on magic, need 6 points of strength to wield it. You see shields, this one has a requirement of 9 strength and 12 dex. This one has 18 strength, no other requirements. So that is a little bit of that explained. Your armor itself doesn't have requirements, but your weapons and your shields do. So we're going to talk to the Maiden in Black finally.
For whom death is no fear. Prithee, lull the old one back to its ancient slumber.
Okay, she gave us the white ice stone and the blue ice stone. I'll explain those here shortly. Okay, so we'll talk to her again.
Seekest thou the power of souls? Of course. After all, thou requirest strength. Go ahead. Touch the demon inside me. Let these vagabond souls become thine own.
Okay, so Seek Soul Power is to level up. If you press over to the right, it will add levels, and you will see what is affected. Vitality increases item burden, as well as all of your defenses and your HP. See, your intelligence affects your MP. And now you see, if I go up to 14, look in the bottom right, it increases my magic memory, and that's an attunement slot. So if I take it up to 18, I will get a third magic slot. Okay. Endurance, you can see my equip burden and my stamina going on, as well as my resistances raising. Everything raises resistances. You can see my weapon damage going up. So if you're ever unsure what affects your weapons more, you can automatically take a look. So I'm getting 82 up to 82 with Dex, and I'm getting up to 81 with Strength. So I know it scales better with Dex, which you can change. Now you see your magic power down there and your miracle power. That affects how strong your spells are. You see I increased it by 1,000 points of magic power just by going up. Same thing with miracles. That should increase it 1,000 points of power. Almost. And luck, you notice item discovery and plague resistance. As far as I know, vitality caps at 50. All of these stats, vitality, intelligence, endurance, strength, dexterity, magic, faith, and luck, cap at 50. I believe, and I want to say that the 6 magic memory slots and 6 faith slots that's the cap for that. But if you take this up to 50, that's going to be the hard cap. You'll notice increasing faith also increases miracle memory. So what I recommend is taking your vitality up to about 27 or 30 and leaving it there. But if you know what weapon you're going for, I would say just meet the requirements early on to wield that weapon, and then go from there. I would take my vitality up to 10, my endurance up to 10, my strength up to 10 so I can use a crossbow. I need 2 more points to get another spell slot. If I want a faith slot, I'm going to have to go up quite a bit. But I have 2 more levels I can spend. I know this isn't a strength build, it's a mage build, but I am going to be putting some strength into it later, as well as some dex. And I'm just going to meet the requirements. I'm eventually going to take this up to 21 strength and 16 dexterity. So I'm going to increase my magic damage a little bit, and you can see I'm now at level 10. I can look at the right and preview everything as I want it before I confirm. There is no respec in this game, so what you do, you are stuck with. Okay, you see my magic capacity has increased. So I can gobble up some of those souls, and I can go get another spell from the apprentice if I so choose, which I think we have quite a few. So we should be very heavy because of all the upgrade mats. You see we have 6 pounds we can pick up. So I would recommend sending all of these that you're not going to use to storage. Now you can talk to Stockpile Thomas, or if you're in a level, you just hit send to storage. It'll ask you how many. So keep that in mind. If you're running low on space, send it to storage. See, look at that. Now I can hold considerably more. Elixirs, which cover stamina faster. Never going to use that. Stops bleeding, counteracts poison. I recommend keeping those. And Stone of Ephemeral Eyes. I'm not going to use those. You see a whole bunch of warrior souls. I'm going to put the lead demon soul and the hard soul in storage. That way I don't accidentally use them. Weapons you don't plan on using. I don't have the stats for the crisp blade, so I don't need it. Extra armor you're not going to use. Remember to keep the official set in mind. I don't need it right now. Rings do have weight in this game. Like, I'm not going to need poison resistance anytime soon, or to increase the item capacity. And I'm not farming for things. See, now I'm, instead of being at 84, I dropped 50 pounds into storage. Okay. Souls weigh nothing to carry around, and you can probably get some pretty good stuff. Let's see how much we actually have. So let's use... I'm going to use all of these. There is no point in hoarding items. There really isn't. So we have 84.
Are you begging for a magic lesson?
Okay, so if I want to pick up stuff, I can. I definitely recommend Cloak. I definitely recommend Flame Toss. Anything else in here, I don't really recommend. Familiar's Prank has one use and it's not that great, and these are kind of mediocre spells.
Me? Of course I
I'm
make my
gonna
best
walk away
effort
from
to find
him.
Mr. Frink.
Let's go see what the Faith Boys have in mind. So keep in mind that we started as royalty, so we are going to have the mana regeneration ring. So if I pick up a heal here, I have infinite heals. I just have to be patient, let the mana refill, and I will never run out of heals. Hide oneself from Black Phantoms is semi-useful. Antidote is halfway useful. Cure is much better, but I wouldn't mind picking up Heal to have a infinite heal. And then you do have to attune the spells that you buy. So I'm going to go attune most likely Cloak. And then
Are you begging for a magic lesson?
so right here I have Soul Arrow. I'm gonna put Cloak on.
Be careful how you use it.
Okay. It's worth noting that I do not have a talisman, so I cannot use the miracle at the moment. But Catalyst cast magic, and talismans cast miracles. That's kind of a brief overview of what we were looking at. I'm going to dump the rest into levels.
Thou seekest then touch the demon. Soul of the mind, key to life's
I can get 2 more levels into health, which is not bad at all. But that also means I can get 2 levels into anything.
So the world might be mended.
So
the world might be mended.
I think I will put those both into Vitality. And we have 269 souls left over.
Art thou finished?
Let's see if our blacksmith
May thy
can
strength help the world be mended.
repair our equipment for that little. If it'll let me talk to him.
It's simple. In trade with your souls.
Yeah. Okay,
You come back
how do
alive.
you feel about that? 150 souls. We've gained quite a bit of levels. You go into a level, you're not going to lose anything big. Lots of people walk around with a whole bunch of souls and then they lose them. Don't walk around with a whole bunch of souls, but do come to terms with losing souls and dying. It is a core part of the game, and unfortunately, at some point it's going to happen. But you know, you can always get more, so don't sweat it. So at this point, we can continue to move on, or we could go back into one of the same archstones. Like we could go do 1-2 if we wanted, or we could go do 2-2. And 2-2, we can actually get to the boss fairly quickly from that. 3-1's very lengthy. 4-1's very lengthy. 5-1 is not lengthy, but it's very difficult to get through because the enemies are very tanky. So if you're feeling brave, we can go back into 2-2. 2-1 or 1-2 is not that difficult either. 1-2 is very short and 2-2 is very short, but there's a lot of stuff to explore in here versus this is just kind of a straight path and a bridge. And I'm debating which one to do. Give me just a moment to think about that. Okay, so let's go ahead and do 1-2. I think it would be beneficial to us because we can get new weapon types and we can continue a quest of Ostrava, and it's not going to hurt any other quest lines, so let's go ahead and do that one. The Lord's Path. Remember before entering, be in soul form. So you can farm upgrade materials right here as well. There's a couple phalanxes, some rogue phalanxes right here. And of course they drop the hardstone and the sharpstone. And you can chip damage them through the shield. So I think there's 3 of those guys. Maybe 4. Watch out for that spear, it is devastating. Well, there was a few more than 4. I think there's actually one behind us. But now we're free to loot. Well, Ostrava is down there. He may call out to us, but don't talk to him yet. We're going to continue on.
You, yonder. Look at me. Again, fenced in by enemies. Could you assist me one last time? Clear out the soldiers blocking this passage, if it please you. The Lord's Path, just over there, is now a feeding ground for dragons. Have your wits about you.
Okay, so he called out to us. We're going to show you how to get to him shortly. Give us just a moment. Okay, so we're going to go around. We can't rescue him from this side anyway. Watch out for any stray phalanxes. But you saw we got some throwing knives, so we have some more throwing consumables to experiment with. I am going to eat a herb, or a grass, and then you see burnt corpses, so you know what that means. Let's get a little closer. That's right, that's Mr. Dragon, and he's going to keep swooping entire bridge in sections. You can kill him here, actually, if you have a bow or a cryptic crossbow. See if we can aim at that. So you have to two-hand it. You can't aim with the crossbow, but you would aim with the bow and it'd pull across it, fly by, and you'd loose an arrow. And you launch probably about 300 arrows into that thing, and you get like 30,000 souls, and the dragon would just be gone. You had a spell called Poison Mist. You could also do that. You could cast Poison Mist. It flies through it. It automatically gets poisoned. You do that multiple times. The dragon. So we're gonna wait for him to fly, and then we're gonna take off running to shelter. And he's going to kill everything in the path. Do not pick up the shinies along the path. You will die. We'll be able to get these in a little bit. So each area has an up and a down. What I mean by that is there's the down. So that takes us underneath the bridge, and this takes us up the bridge. Okay, so another valid strategy would be, if we don't die. Okay, that's it. If we don't die, stop. Okay, so another valid strategy is you can come up on these ramparts. You can see the jerk thing. There's another jerk. Will you stop that? Okay, so we got some bolts out of that. And a wooden catalyst. Beautiful. So if you didn't have a catalyst before, you have one now. I'm going to stand right here, and I'm going to show you something. Did you see that? The dragon's attack didn't hit us, it missed. So you can stand up there with a bow, and you can aim down and pop it at you. The moment you go out the other side, it's going to fly that way, and make its way to that rampart, and same thing, you go into that rampart, and then the boss is in there. So we're going to go down and help Destrava in a little bit. Once you stop seeing char marks, you're fine. So I can even stand right in this doorway and I should get hit theoretically. So it's just a race. Okay, we are actually getting pretty close to 30 minutes here, so I'm going to leave off right here for this first episode, and then I will have another episode out for you shortly. If this helped you guys out with the tutorial, if this entertains you, and if you liked it, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much, and we will catch you shortly.